have your guys' name? And if you don't want to say your age, can you please tell us your age range?
All right. I'm Dr. Ann
Dr. Ann.
Lippincott.
And can you spell that, please?
L-I-P-P-I-N-C-O-T-T.
Okay.
And I'm the Associate Director of the Teacher Education Program in the Gewurz Graduate School of Education at UCSB.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm 58 years old.
58. Okay. Okay.
I'm Clara Fowler, and I work here as an instructor at TEP, and I also work as an instructor for Ed 125, and I am 30 years old.
Okay. So our first question is, what do you think school is for? The purpose of school.
I would have two responses to your question. One is what do I think it should be for, or what do I think, how does it get taken up?
It can be both, or whichever answer you would like to.
Well, I would hope that school is for the purpose of allowing people to develop the skills that they need in order to be critical thinkers and good citizens of the world. That would include language and literacy skills, which is my particular area of interest. And again, to be critical thinkers.
I would agree with Anne. I think that school, that's a very hard question. But from my perspective, I think that school can be a place where kids come together, and it's the only place that diverse kids can come together and learn to live with each other and talk with each other and become better people and better thinkers in society.
Yeah, where they're exposed to new ideas that they otherwise, that broadens their horizons and ways of thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
And allows them to interact with ideas that may be different than their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And maybe develop together with others by being exposed and grow together, I think.
Okay. Our next question is, what was your favorite subject in school?
Literature.
Literature.
Mine was history.
Yeah, English. Yeah, I loved English. I even loved diagramming sentences.
Oh, hated that. I hated that
I'm
so
a geek.
much.
I'm a language geek.
And the question to follow that up with is, what do you wish was a subject in school that isn't in school?
And we're talking about like up until high school,
Yeah, not college.
not college.
Well, definitely the arts. I mean, they really have been taken out of the schools' budgets, and I think the arts are very important. For a lot of our students, that's one reason they go to school, because the academic subjects they struggle with, and sometimes it's the arts that keep them in school and allow them to develop more fully as human beings and citizens of the world. So I would say the arts.
I would say I would like to see more student participation in school, and maybe places in which they could go and come up with their own ideas of what they feel like studying at their age. Or it's hard because we make decisions for them all the time, and then I would like to see spaces during the day in which they could go and say, now I would like to go and take an arts class, or I would like to take a digital media class, or I would like to have a class in which I can discuss with my peers about something that we are concerned about. So.
Okay. And our last question is, what does success mean to you?
being someone, and I'm going to say, I think in this regard, my age is important, because I'm going to answer it differently than I would have answered it when I was younger. And also in light of the fact that my 32-year-old daughter died recently. So I've given a lot of thought to what it means to be successful in the world. And when she was in college, she took a cultural anthropology course and she got a B in it. And I took her to Argentina that summer, and she applied, the concepts of cultural anthropology to the point where I said, Mika, it's fine that you only got a B. I would take your B that you're able to live and apply to your life over anybody else's, A on the final exam. So for me, being successful is learning how to pay gracious attention to the lessons that life presents. Being kind, being empathetic, and being a critical thinker. Not just accepting ideas that are presented, but, using life's experiences and considering alternative options. We have a saying in this program that is almost a mantra: how might this make sense? When we see a child acting out in the classrooms, how might we make sense out of this? And of course they'll say, well, the kid has a learning disability or a behavioral issue. And the next question, of course, is how else might this make sense? And so ultimately I think successful people are able to stop, hit the pause button, and ask that question: how does this make sense? And then, how else might this make sense?
That's a difficult question. I think being successful is, I agree with this vision. I think that's important, and also to enjoy what you do, to have a good quality of life, and enjoy being with others, learning with others, from others, and from your student.
And finding what makes your heart sing.
Yes.
I think that,
Yeah.
since you
Yeah.
started that, I
Yeah.
thought, that's
Yeah.
another thing that would be, I would consider being successful. Finding that which makes your heart sing.